Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be covering my games from day 3 of the Cat's Tail Gathering tournament. So without further ado, let's hop right into the first game. Now in the first game, we're going up against Koji here, who's using the Consecrated Beast deck. Now he is a really good player, in fact, as I'm recording this, I believe he's like top 5 on the leaderboard. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be doing the same thing that we always do, which is start on a Narwhal. And if you don't know why I do this already, I suggest that you check out my previous 2 videos on the Cat's Tail Gathering tournament. As for them, they start on the Scorpion, which is a bit different because usually Consecrated Beasts, they just start on the Serpent. And now they switch to the Narwhal. So it's clear that they're doing this because they want to switch as much as possible to avoid giving me my free bloom. Because if I get to end my round last, I get to bloom them for free. But here they're making sure I don't do that. I use the Vicious Ancient Battle straight away to make sure this guy doesn't have any energy for round 2. Because even if it has just 1 energy, it can use a Bone Cruncher straight away, get 2 energy, and just burst for 10 damage with Adeptus Temptation. Of course, I'm not gonna allow that. So instead, they use a Bone Cruncher this round as well to get 1 energy. Gotta make sure it has at least 1 energy. And now they end their round on the Scorpion. So even the Scorpion doesn't die here actually. And so they've successfully stopped me from getting my guaranteed bloom on round 1. Which is a shame, but I mean, this is how it's supposed to be. So now of course I use my elemental skill, because there's a bloom right there. They delayed it, but they can't avoid it forever. And they just do a bunch of stuff. Bone Cruncher up. Although I was a bit surprised to see the Bone Cruncher on the Scorpion, because now this means that they can't use it on their Serpent anymore this round to instantly burst. I'm guessing they didn't have Adeptus anyway, or I mean, I guess they don't have enough dice anyway for that, so they're not planning to use the Serpent's burst this round. I just use my burst, my own burst, to get more burst scans and take out the Scorpion. They do get a pretty delicious swirl off, which is not so good for me, and I just end my round here. I end my round on Kave because that way if they switch to the Narwhal trying to avoid this bloom here, then the Narwhal will have Hydra on it and Kave can bloom straight away. Now here the Serpent will go down as well because I have another bloom. Not sure if they misplayed this, but I mean, they're losing both their Consecrated Beasts, and now they're just planning to send out their Narwhal. And with so many cards, they're going to use and tune all their cards to just get a crap ton of HP on the Narwhal. I'm not sure if this was a mistake or that they were actually just planning to go all out with the Narwhal here. So out comes double Legend of Vanessa, which is crazy. Bone Cruncher. Honestly, I feel like this might actually be their real plan, which is just to go ham with the Narwhal. Because here, they definitely have enough dice to go for 3 attacks, which means they can use the Narwhal's burst. And if you have ever been on the receiving end of a Narwhal's burst, you know how it's insanely painful that is. I set out my own Narwhal because I want to bloom it. I want to bloom their Narwhal. And I do get my bloom here. But I won't be able to finish off their Narwhal this turn, so I still need to survive this. Thankfully, I can survive this. I mean, just look at my HP. I have a lot.
I knew you'd miss me.
Only thing is I have to hope they don't have enough dice in any way to get 2 more dice there, so thankfully they didn't. If they got like more attacks there, I'll just be dead. Also, they floated 4 dice there, not too sure why. I think they wanted to go first this round. So they use their burst and I'm gotta make sure I hit it enough times to get rid of all the Dark Shadows usages before the end of the round. I just tune all my cards first to get all my max HP up on the narwhal, and now I switch to it. And I'm obviously just gonna use my elemental skill, get my blue. And now I just finish it off. So that's GG. Now for game number 2, we are going up against Ninja here, who's also using Conveil. So let's see if this guy is any better than the last. I mean, probably not, because the previous guy had like a gold card back and everything. Yeah. Once again, I start on the narwhal, and this guy starts on the scorpion as well. So perhaps he does know what he's doing. So here, if they know what they're doing, they'll switch around to stop me from ending my round first. I mean last. And they do exactly that. So they switch to the serpent. Now they use their talent card and elemental skill. Pretty standard stuff.
Strike a pose.
Same for me, I just do very standard stuff. Just Furina's elemental skill followed by Kave's elemental skill. Don't even need to think too much about it. And yeah, I use Legend of Vanessa as well, because whenever I get Legend of Vanessa, I like to use it so that I can switch back to Furina after using Kave's skill. This way, I can avoid giving them a free burst on Kave from the Serpent. But in this case, they're not gonna get a free burst anyway, because Scorpion's not gonna die. So I kinda just wasted my Legend of Vanessa there. But not really, because if I didn't use it, they wouldn't have done this either. That kind of thing. All in all, I guess it's not bad. The overall outcome was good. So now there's Hydro on the Scorpion, so obviously I just use my elemental skill. And it's pretty good that it doesn't die here, because they don't get a free switch to the Serpent, but unfortunately they do have LITN, and that allows them to burst anyway. A bit of a shame, but it is what it is.
So many things.
Now of course I send out the narwhal because this guy is Dendro on it, so gonna get my bloom. I tune a bunch of cards first because the more max HP my narwhal has, the more damage it deals as well. I make sure not to tune the last one because, well, not like I can, but it's so that the narwhal doesn't discard my arcane card. Now they make sure to end their round on the narwhal because they don't want their scorpion dying to this. And honestly, with just 6 HP left, there's not much to it. I mean, I have 18 HP versus 6 HP. It's a pretty straightforward win. And here they might try going for the narwhal's burst, but I'm just gonna stop them with Vicious Ancient Battle. And of course, I'll go for my own narwhal's burst this round. Just one skill and one burst. Pretty simple. Now of course, with so many cards, they start off by tuning a bunch of cards to get more HP on the narwhal. I don't know why they tuned the last one though. Maybe they didn't have enough Hydro dice. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If they didn't tune it, it would have gotten discarded. I used that straight away, just to stop it from getting any energy at all. Now I switched to Furina first. I don't want to burst straight away because then they get to attack me and reduce my stacks. The stacks I have on the burst, on the Dark Shadow. So that's why I switched back and forth there, since I could. I have excess dice anyway. And now my Dark Shadow will just finish off the narwhal. I play around with the Forbidden Knowledge a bit, and then I just end my round, and that's GG. Now going to our third game, we're going up against Yunjin OTK here, which is our first Yunjin OTK deck. Like, okay, I faced one previously in this tournament, but that guy was using Hu Tao instead of Zhongli, so that doesn't really count. This is the real Yunjin. Of course, they start on Seahorse, they're just gonna set up on round 1, and I start on my Narwhal anyway, just in case they don't let me end last for some reason. Although it's like there's like a 99% chance they will let me end last anyway, because they're not even gonna attack.
Witness my
If they attack, it's actually good for me, because that means less setup for them. Of course, they don't attack, just Paimon, Vanarana, Wagner. Oh my god. Oh well, I just do what I can, which is Furina skill, Kave skill. And I need to magically survive next round. So if I can get past round 2 without with some HP left, I should be good. Somewhat, I hope. So my plan for this round is just to take out Yunjin if I can. That would be the best case scenario. Or if I can't, I'll just have to use Vicious Ancient Battle on her and delay her burst. Oh, they switched to only. I switched to my Narwhal. Changing shift. They switched to Yunjin here. So I believe I just attack her. Oh yes, I just attack her. And now if they use their elemental skill, I will just switch to Kavit. Well, they can't use their elemental skill because if they do that, they're stuck in their prepare skill. So I'll just switch to Kavit. Kavit will eat the elemental skill damage, and then just use my elemental skill and take out Yunjin, and then Yunjin will be dead, of course. So they can't do that. So here they should switch back to Zhongli or even Seahorse, to be honest, because it's not like they need Seahorse. It's not like I have gamblers. Or I mean, they could normal attack as well. Many options. If they normal attack, I'll use Vicious Ancient Battle. And then they just use their elemental skill, so okay. I mean, I'll take it, I guess. If he's not gonna play seriously, I'll just take it.
Come at me.
I'll just take out the Yunjin. So with Yunjin gone, there's really not much else to this game. I mean, if they didn't equip the Jade Wing Spear there, then maybe they might still stand a chance by equipping it on Zhongli instead, but the Jade Wing Spear is gone as well, so really there's nothing else to this. They're just gonna beat up the rest of their characters using the whale. Honestly bro, how does every Yunjin deck just get to set up completely on round 1? I never get that when I'm using Yunjin.
I knew you'd miss me.
First I switched to Furina. I think I was trying to survive here, because they did have 11 dice, which is scary.
Right.
Now they have like barely any dice left, so it's finally safe. I'm just gonna use my skill and burst here. And since they used this skill already, I'm counting on the fact that they didn't have enough Geo dice left. Because there was a world where they put out Woven, get 6 dice, normal attack and burst, but like I said, I didn't think they had that enough Geo dice for the burst, so decided it was fine. And Dark Shadow just takes out only. GG.
Feeling a little off.
Now for our fourth game, we are going up against Yoisuke here, who is using Conveil. And if you've been watching my channel for like the past week, you know that I lost to this guy in the Asia Weekly tournament just like a few days ago with the exact same decks here. We were both using the exact same decks. But now I've learned a bit more, so let's see how it goes. So this time I start on the Narwhal. The last time we played, I started on Furina because I didn't know how to play this deck. But here we start on Narwhal. And they start on the Serpent, very standard stuff. So well, they just set up a lot. Oh right, they played Libin just to get the just to trigger Luminstone Adjuvant. They're not actually planning to use Libin for real. Now they get 2 energy on the Serpent, so there's no point in me there was no point in me using Vicious Ancient Battle, since even if with just one energy they can do their burst anyway.
Come at me.
I knew
Now I
you'd
do
miss
manage
me.
to end my round last, and I even get to switch back to Furina, so this is the absolute best case scenario. So now their Scorpion will go down, and the Serpent can't even trade it. He can't even kill my Kave because Kave is not out. Furina is. Getting Legend of Vanessa on round 1 is always the best for me, because I get to switch back to Furina here. So that's the Scorpion gone. Now out comes the Serpent, and they just stall their turn by switching to the Narwhal
Need a
instead.
hand?
Because they are hoping for an opportunity to switch back to the Serpent and burst on Kave. I use Day of Resistance there, so that they can't do that because their burst only deals 10 damage with Adeptus Temptation. And it's highly unlikely they can deal any more than that. I guess because of the Day of Resistance, they didn't bother bursting, so they just used an elemental skill to draw more cards. And obviously I just use my burst because of course I am.
Breaking new ground.
Gotta get my burst scans, and then the Hydro application will do the rest. I believe they use the elemental, but never mind, they don't. They just give up the Serpent straight up, and they collect their dice with Libin at least. Thing is, this is really bad for them because the Serpent goes down to my second hit of the summon, which means that their Narwhal would eat the burst scan. And when it eats the burst scan, it gets Dendro applied on it again, and that means that I can bloom again and trigger another burst scan, which is just like 20 damage or something. So yeah, no chance for them. But they do have a lot of cards though, so they make sure to tune as many of them as they can to get more HP on their Narwhal. You have no idea how long I had to wait for this guy to tune his cards. And ouch, that hurts. So it's not quite over yet. I still gotta survive this. I tune some cards to get more HP so that I don't get one-shotted by their Narwhal. And then I just use my elemental skill. And now it should be GG. I tune one last card to just get another 3 HP. And I just skill again, taking out their Narwhal. GG. Now for game number 5, we are going up against yet another Conwheel deck. So this guy is actually really good as well. As I'm recording, I believe he's like just barely in the top 16, although he or she has not played all of their matches yet.
Need a hand?
This time I start on Kave, not like it really matters because I'm going first, so I'm gonna switch to Furina regardless. I just decided to let Kave start for once instead of the Narwhal. And like I said, we switched to Furina right away.
I knew you'd miss me.
And of course, they're a really good player, so they switch around as well because they don't want to let me end my round last. They switch back to Serpent. Now I do have to switch to Kave. They switch even more. Now I have to use my elemental skill on the Scorpion, which isn't what I want. I just end my round here instead of switching back to Furina because they're gonna end their round on the Serpent here. Okay, actually they're not, but hey, why did I end my round on Kave? Ah, right. It's because since they're not going to switch to the Scorpion and give me the Scorpion for free, I wanted Kave to be out so that I can get a bloom straight away on whoever they leave out to eat my Hydro application. So now I see Hydro, I use Elemental Skill. I just use Vicious Ancient Battle anyway, so that they are forced to use one extra Bone Cruncher. I'm hoping they don't have enough Bone Crunchers to take out my Kave, as well as Adeptus Temptation. Because if they have less than 4 Bone Crunchers and no Adeptus, then they can't take out my Kave with the burst. So that's why I use Vicious Ancient Battle there. Not that the other two would have been useful anyway. Of course, they get their second energy anyway. And with so many draw cards, I believe they still get their Adeptus and just burst. For 20 damage as well, because they had 4 Bone Crunchers. So that was actually a waste on their part, because they didn't even need the Adeptus. So that's great for me. Got them to waste some dice. And now their Scorpion is low as well. And actually they just gave me the Scorpion for... Wait, actually it's not free. It's not dead yet because I don't have any burst scans. I switch back to Furina, so Furina can tank some damage. Remember that Furina's job is kind of just to tank damage, so... Gotta let Furina do that while she's healthy. Scorpion surviving 1 HP is not exactly what I want though. At the very least, it won't be able to use its burst, and I definitely can't let it use its burst. If it bursts, I'm dead. 100%. So they use 1 Bone Cruncher straight away, getting it to 1 energy, and they switch off to the Narwhal. And I'm guessing that they're hoping to end their round first on the Scorpion next round, so that they can use another Bone Cruncher and burst right away. Now I switch back to my own Narwhal, cause there's no way I'm attacking with Furina, right? They put up more cards, like, can you stop drawing cards? Please. And with the Laboratory Ruins, they just get way too many dice, yeah. I tune some cards for more HP. Now I use my Elemental skill. So seeing as just now my Vicious Ancient Battle was kind of wasted, perhaps I should have saved my Arcane point for Day of Resistance at this moment. Anyway, I used my burst. I actually managed to take out a Scorpion as well, so that's pretty cool. And now here, I think I made the mistake of switching to Furina. I think I should have just ended my round on the Narwhal. Because now, I don't get my second hit of the Dark Shadow, because this hits me again, and I lose that second hit, which I miscalculated. If I stay on the Narwhal would have died, but I would have gotten my 2 hits off from Dark Shadow, which I believe is worth a lot more. And Furina can finish off the game since this wouldn't have attacked either. So honestly, it was just a huge mistake at the last part. The Vicious Ancient Battle wasn't even that big of a mistake. Here this was the huge mistake that ultimately cost me. I still do what I can. I tune more cards, get more HP. Normal attack again, but I mean, it's not gonna help me. I couldn't switch to Narwhal because they would just 2-shot me.
Don't look at me.
And now they're gonna get their burst again, so that's just over. Or rather, they don't even have the burst, they just skill me down. So that's GG. So gotta keep in mind next time to not let my Dark Shadow just go away like that.